Good morning. And I mean morning. Like I just woke up kind of morning. Let me get things fired up here. All right. Oh, I'm over here. Find myself, find the stream, pop out the chat.
Making an Arduino project with Circuito.io is pretty simple. All you need to do is choose the components you want to use in your project.
I guess I don't need to type in the chat, do I? But I did. How's it going, guys? Top of the morning. I admit I stayed up too late last night. Frank, hey, how's it going? From the UK. The security guy. Hey, Nemo. Thanks. You're welcome, Paul. Thanks. The morning. Yeah, it's morning for me, man. It's like mid-afternoon for you guys. Getting ready for dinner, are you? Dang. Hey, I tinkered with the delay. And so hopefully we're not quite so out of sync now between the chat and me. Well, let me know how it is, because it was quite a bit delayed, I think, before. Vacation in Croatia. Oh, wow. South Africa. Dang, what time is it there? I tried to put some times up. You know, I try and just guess places across the world and put some times up. Oh, Frank, I'd love to hear your ideas. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Jeff, stay out of that. Stay out of the heat. It's been way too hot here, I can tell you that. But we had some good rain last night. Seems okay. You can see the reason I'm so whited out is the window here. The sun is blaring through the window. And I haven't finished my blinds yet to block it out. 10 seconds to answer your comment. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think it was longer before. There's one, I can go one more click towards reducing the delay in between. So we'll maybe, if this is still not much different or better, we'll try that next time. Brazil, having lunch. Wow. Well, I guess it is 10. I should be. Oh, there's Frank on Discord too. Frank got blocked in the chat for chatting too much. Man, over 3 days over 100. Forget it. Do a My Sensors Home Assistant video. You know what? In I need to learn My Sensors. I signed up for it, but I haven't been back to the site since. So, what are you doing with it? Tell me what you're doing with it, and what would be good. Good night, 110 in Dallas. What is going on? The world's burning, fellas. World's burning. Cool. Oh, a multicast on Twitch. Oh, you know what? I used to watch some guys play Xbox on Twitch, and they would do that multicast thing. So, yeah, that'd be cool. I think I subscribe to you, Frank, so I should get some kind of a notice, I'm guessing, when you fire up. So cool. Hey, Brandon. Vegas. Basher, you know I grew up in Vegas. Topic for the day. You know, if I had to pick a topic for the day, it would probably be Lovelace. What do you think about that? I think the topic for the day would be Lovelace. So I finished the Sweet Home 3D tutorial. You know, it's pretty basic, but honestly, looking on YouTube for Sweet Home 3D tutorials, there are a bunch, but there wasn't, I don't know. I'm not saying mine's better, but mine would be geared towards what we try and do when we make a plan and put it in, you know, Home Assistant for HA Floor Plan or for the new Lovelace or whatever. So I finished it. It's done. I just got to upload it, and maybe I'll do that right after we finish up here. And then the next thing is Lovelace, and I think I've got it all figured out. I've done at least an example of every different kind of entity, and I understand how they work, and so I think I can do that. And then I got it started. The video started, so it's coming. But yeah, if we were going to talk about something today, or if I was going to just sit and do something, that's what I would do. I'd go through that. All right, catching up. It's always good to have you. Thanks, man. The name? Oh, Lovelace. I know. I feel dirty every time I say it. Web terminal add-on. You finally released the SSH and web terminal add-on. Awesome. Frank, you do some great stuff for us, man. Thanks a bunch. I mean, you guys, you know how easy it is to do add-ons in Hass.io and how many there are. You can thank Frank because he's done a lot of them. So thanks again, man. It's awesome. Do I happen to know if you can replace a standard momentary push button with a capacitive touch switch? Well, I guess that depends on the switch. I don't know what that one is, the TTP223. There are some capacitive touch switches that are momentary, and then there are some that are latching. So if you're using Tasmota, you could do either one. You just have to change your switch mode. Honestly, I think, I really was into the latching ones because I liked that they lit up, but they get out of sync with Home Assistant, because if you switch the switch in Home Assistant, there's no way to send a command to the light on the switch to tell it to turn off. So I do have some of the momentary ones, and the momentary ones are even cheaper. The LED just flashes when you touch it. And apart from just wiring in an extra line for 3 volts, otherwise they're the same as a push button. So I don't know if that's the ones you're using there, but if it is, yeah, definitely you can just swap it out. Using Sonoff Tasmota, best practice using nose red. Oh, man, Dave. What are my initial thoughts on Lovelace, Brandon? I like it. I definitely think it's the right way to go. I'm glad they're doing it. It's going to make it so much nicer to be able to tweak your user interface without going through your whole configuration file and making big changes and then restarting Home Assistant every time you want to see what changes you made. So to be able to just separate the two, the sort of states engine or whatever you want to call it, the states manager part of Home Assistant from the user interface, that would be, I think that's great. I think it works great. Hey, bud.
Hey.
While I'm doing live. Oh, thanks. Mail time. Hey, how's it going?
Going good.
Good morning. You're up early.
Yeah.
All right. Catching up on chat. Thanks, Alcides. Thanks. What is the super chat button about? I don't even know. I don't know what the super chat button is about. I think once you get to a certain number of subscribers, they give you that, and it shows up there. I don't know what it means or what it does. Greetings from Denmark. Thought on Tasmota 6.1 and the Sonoff Basics getting them in the state where you can't connect to them. Have you experienced this in steps to recover? 2 Sonoff Basics in limbo. I haven't experienced it, but I also haven't tried Tasmota 6.1. I've been sticking, because there's been those issues, I've been sticking with 5.14. And I don't know exactly the solution. Sorry, Jeff, other than stick with 5.14. I mean, if there's a specific feature that you need that's in 6.1 that you can't get in 5.14, then I don't know. It might have something to do with, how some of these Sonoff Basics are now in there's I don't know if they're calling it R2, but there's a different version, with the pins are soldered shut and that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's some change there. No, I didn't stream accidentally again. This is the real deal. Hey, baby. Hi. Are you having a sucker for breakfast?
No.
Say hi to the world.
Hi.
What kind of tablet do I use for the dashboard? I use Sonoff Fire 10. And you watch for them. They go on sale pretty often. I think I paid $150. It's pretty nice. It works pretty good. Question, I have the Hass.io load. Stuck with versions. Oh, really? Tried deleting the database file and didn't update. So is that Georgia Tech? GA Tech. Let's see. You're stuck on version 6.18 with Hass.io and you can't upload it? Can't change it? I don't know. I haven't seen that. Have you, did I say Sonoff Fire 10? No, it's Amazon Fire. Sorry, Basher. It's Amazon Fire 10. The Fire HD 10. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry. Did I say Sonoff? I just got Sonoff on the brain, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely an Amazon Fire 10. All right. I was in the middle of thinking about, why do you think GA Tech wouldn't be able to update, guys? You got some ideas? I don't know what you mean. How do I get around the lock screen? I got an app that's called, it's time to switch this. Switch it over here. I'm watching what Frank is sending me here. I can't see. My eyes are too blurry. I'll have to peek at it in a minute. All right. Nope. This. There. All right. How did I get past the lock screen? There's a Android app that's called, I think it's called Stay Alive. Yep, that's the one. So just get that and put that on your tablet, and then once you start that app, then as long as you're plugged into power, it won't lock. The lock screen won't even come up. So that's pretty awesome. Caffeine, yeah, not enough. That's so far for sure. Why do you get an error about setup striped palette? Oh, Luca, you're doing the lights? You're doing the LED lights? Well, what's the error say? What's the error say? There might be some, that sketch is so big and so messy. Setting up a CPU sensor. Oh, cool. The CPU temp sensor, cool. All right. Many of you have seen this cool case for the Raspberry Pi touchscreen. I just saw it for the first time last night in Dallas Makerspace. Cool. Smarty Pi. South Africa. Hey, man. How's it going? Do you guys want to see? You want to see what I have for Lovelace? Want to check it out? So I've tried to just go through and do some examples. Stuck between versions at one point. Restored it to a bigger disk. Oh, there you go. That could be it. And that would be the other thing to do. Georgia Tech is just do a snapshot. A snapshot of your Home Assistant as it is, and then back it up to some other place, and then just download the image new and put that on a new SD card, or I don't know how big your SD card is, but I think as long as it's 16 or more, you're good. If you're 8, you might run into trouble. And then you can restore. If you go here, you go to snapshots, you can make a full snapshot, name it, and then once you have a snapshot done, you can download it to some other place, and then later it'll show up here, and you can you can restore one. I haven't restored one yet, but you should be able to restore it once you do a new install of the updated version. So that should be that's one way anyways, probably to get past your getting stuck there. All right. Oh, 64. That's not it. Can you do about very bad range on Tasmota Flash Sonoff RF bridge? Really? Man, I'm having pretty good success with it. Let's see, my bridge is right here, and the receivers are the transmitters are in the garage. So they're probably 40, 50 feet away. Gosh, I don't know what else to do. Anybody got any ideas? How do you boost this? How do you boost the signal on the bridge? I don't know. 13 and trying to make a smart home. Holy cow. Only with an example out of the NeoPixel library. Could have contact because I don't understand the error. Yeah, I wish I could help. I don't know exactly what to tell you, Luca. Sorry, man. I'd like to see you get it worked. But that is pretty cool that you're 13 and you're getting it working. That means by the time you're our age, you're going to be, you'll be I don't know, Elon Musk or something. 30 Sonoff stools and basic. My recommendation for flashing them? Oh my gosh, you guys are all young. Wait a minute. Wow. Well, Tyson just built a little, Tyson built a, what do you even want to call it? I don't know. It's a little contraption. He watched Superhouse TV's Jonathan's video when he went to the Sonoff factory, and then he built a thing where you take the Sonoff out of the case, you set it on there, you put something down on top of it. I can't remember even how he's got it worked out, and then you push a button or flip a switch, and it just runs the script to flash it, and it pops it off, and he does it in a few seconds. So, yeah, I'm with you, John. Close to that. But the other thing to do is Mark's 3D printed little clip. Let me show you mine. If I can find it. This little guy here. So this is, and it's got these little pogo plugs on there. I don't know if you can even see them, but they're these little springy tips, and then you put your jumpers on here, and then you just clip this sucker on the board. Oh, this one's already got a header on it. You just clip this guy on here, and it lines up right there. Let me turn this on over here. Maybe you can see it better. So you just clip that right there, and it works pretty well. I mean, it's nice and fast. It holds them on there, and if you have the newer ones that have the soldered heads or the soldered contact points there, that's a good way to do it. So I don't know if that totally answers your question about doing 20 of them, but where do you get one, Bob, of those? He's got it posted on Thingiverse. You need to, if you don't have a 3D printer, I'm hesitant to start sending them, like to say, oh, we'll print them out and send them, just because some of these, somebody was asking me that it was in Brazil, and it was going to be like $70 or something ridiculous to mail it. So I think the thing to do is to get the model from Thingiverse, and then find somebody on 3D Hubs that's nearby where you live, and they can usually print it for you. If they charge you more than about $8 to print it, then they're robbing you, because it's only a few cents worth of plastic. Most people will charge you like $5 to fire it up, the printer, and print you anything at all. But that's probably the best way to do it, especially if you live, somewhere that far from the U.S. I did not reveal my password. I saw it was binged out with the little dots. All right. Things, likes. This one. And I'll link it in the chat here. Yeah, so libraries, yeah, you're right. Libraries, you might find a makerspace somewhere that would let you print it. It's a pretty simple print. It really is. Make sure you use PLA or something that's a little flexible. ABS probably would be a bad idea. Yeah, you already know all my passwords. Yeah. Dang it. I wish that wasn't true, but it is. I'm just bad. Nemo's my security guy. Any recommendations for a robot vacuum? Taj, A lot of people really like their Xiaomi. I don't know how you say it exactly. Thanks, Basher. But that's one that gets a lot of good reviews, and it does work with Home Assistant like out of the box, you know. So am I saying it right? I'm probably not spelling it right. No, I didn't spell it right. So I don't know. I mean, they've probably got 100 different models of these, because that's way more than I would spend. But this brand people like, and it works with Home Assistant. So we got ours. You know, I got somebody to send me one. I didn't ask them. They sent it, and it was pretty nice. Right now, it's got something stuck in it. It makes a huge, huge loud noise when I run it. So it's over here on its back like a turtle, waiting for me to tear it apart and figure out what got stuck in there and why is it messed up. How do you get the hide of you're not doing very well, Juan, with that? You know, gotta find something that she likes. Find something that she works with that you could make easier for her. So my wife really liked being able to tell I don't want to say that word, the A word, right? And trigger everybody's devices. But she really liked being able to lay in bed and tell the Amazon Echo to turn off the lights. That got me a lot of points. And then the garage door, I thought the garage door was good, but the garage door tricked her a couple times. And when the garage door came down on her car and broke something, then the WAF fell dramatically at that point. So right now her garage door is not smart anymore. My wife likes music, dimmable lights, you know, just trying to think of some things that wives like. The other thing is, don't mess with any of their critical functions. Like if there's something that she really depends on, and you tweak it and try and make it smart, and it ends up being, you know, somewhat glitchy, which is unfortunately pretty common, that'll lose you some points in a hurry. So stay away from critical functions and try and find things that she'll appreciate. Things like some way to get an announcement from the washing machine when it's done washing. That's been popular. There's a whole variety of different ways to do that. I've seen vibration sensors. You can use like the POW, the Sonoff POW, and get a signal or get a message when it goes from being a high power consumption to low, meaning it turned off. And then you can send a message. Don't forget Lovelace. I forget so fast. I get doing these things and I get confused and get caught up in reading the chat, trying to keep up with the chat, and I lose my place. Okay, back to Lovelace. Here we are. This is my Lovelace display, or at least the first page of it. And then this one, I don't know what's going on here. These should be pictures. Oh, there they go. Okay, very good. And then these, they don't change when I click them, but when I click them, it should trigger the lights, and you can see that turned off the light in my office. But the images don't change. This has a variety of them, but then this little picture entity is what ends up making this possible. Ta-da! And this is the one I've really been tweaking. This is the one, this is my upstairs, and this is the office. And so there's all these things I've got in there. So let me show you we can kind of walk through a few of them. What is most interesting to you? What are you most, if we had to do one or two of these or a few of these types of entities in Lovelace, is there some that you're more interested in? I really thought the floor plan was really cool. Yeah, the same, trying to get the photos to change. Yeah, I think if you just do, if you do a picture that's just an image on your, like locally on your Pi, or, something from the web that you've put in the URL, then I think it just turns gray, because it did that initially. And then those images that I had, that I just showed you, that I clicked on, those are actually images from my cameras, the latest image from the cameras. But they don't turn gray, and I'm not sure why. I know that there is now a way, they keep changing it, but there is now a way to define different images for different states. And so they may have changed it so that it won't just gray it out, but that you have to define a separate image. I doubt that's the way it is. I think it's probably more because I used my camera image. But it's possible that that's the reason why. All right. Really keen on the floor plan? Yeah. Okay, let's check out the floor plan. All right. CCTV, can you get Home Assistant to see the cameras? Usually you can, guys. Will this replace floor plan, like the HA floor plan, Frank? You can still use HA floor plan. I think that's just going to be a separate way to do it, but most likely, yes, I do think it will replace it. HA floor plan was nice because you could define things, like I had the floor defined so that it would show, it would change the color of the floor when the lights were on. I always have some problems here. So like these are the rooms that have lights on right now, so they're a different color, and I liked that. There's probably going to be a way to do that with Lovelace that's hopefully not too difficult, but right now you really just end up with these icons through the first and easy pathway. There's, like I said, there's probably other ways. All right, so let's look at the floor plan one. So basics of it, you guys, if you haven't looked at Lovelace at all, basics of it are you've got you define views and cards. Let's pull up the their Lovelace page also. You gotta be careful when you just type Lovelace into your search bar. Type Home Assistant first. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna go to these different kinds of there's all these different kinds of cards, and then in the cards there's different kinds of what are we calling them? Is it views? No. All right, so the views are the main tabs across the top. So when you look at these are views. Each of these is a view, and then each view needs a title, and then you can define an icon, and that's what I like. I like making it icons instead of making it this one. I bet you I didn't. This isn't the most up-to-date one. Don't save that because that's not the most up-to-date one. Oh, great. There's my secrets.yaml. Son of a gun. Did I just really do that? Did I really just do that? All right. Okay, well, I'll figure. Yeah, hacking time. What did I show? Like, what was on there? I didn't even see. I just saw that it was the secrets.yaml that I'd been working on. Good gravy. Except the secrets, yeah. It stays on YouTube. I'll leave it on. I'll have to go back and figure out how to cut out that whatever I revealed in my secrets. Hopefully it was just my like coordinates or something. All right. I'm going to go to my HA config and reopen my Lovelace UI because I was working on it at work. Okay, we're going to close the secrets.yaml so we don't have to worry about that again. All right. So here you go. Views. So this top part up here, actually, this is a more advanced thing. So we'll come back to that. This is how you can more easily find out the coordinates on your plan, on your floor plan, where you want to put your icons. So this is a little add-on that I shouldn't call it an add-on because it's not really an add-on. It's more of a, I don't know, custom entity, maybe custom card. All right, so I've got some of these, and the first one is just when you define the card, you need to find the card type, or inside the card, you got what are you going to put in there. So this first one, I just put some entities. Pretty simple, just a list of entities, no big deal. That's this right here. Okay, so this looks just like what you see normally on Home Assistant, right? This one here is I filtered it. So I selected these entities And then I said, show me which ones show up as home. And you could do the same thing with like this, which is a bunch of entities that then it just shows me which ones are on. So it's a state filter. So it's an entity filter is the type of card. And then I'm filtering these entities and I want to see which ones are on. So that's pretty handy. You can see right now we're firing up a ton of electricity here, sucking the power out of the sun right now and using up all these lights. So these are all the people that are home, which is everybody right now, and these are all the lights that are on. So if I turn a light off, it disappears from the list. It's pretty cool. So that's a nice, I think having this one with all the lights, like so you can just have a quick glance like what lights are on in the house and not have to worry about it. That's a pretty good one. All right, so then we go to some of these picture entities. You can see how I defined the pictures. It's just it's a picture entity, and then you define which entity. So office crown is some lights, and then the image that I used is a camera that's up here behind me. And then when you tap on it, it just toggles. Tap action is really pretty cool, and you can do more than just toggle with the tap. You can actually even call a whole service, which is pretty cool. So we go, that's what this one looks like. Oh, good. Thank you, Frank. Nothing severe. All right, appreciate that. That's weird. Why would that show up in secrets? Huh. Okay. All right. So back to, oh, wait, I was looking at this. Back here, we're looking at this second page. This is this one. Now this entity here is the one that has, that's a picture glance, it's called. So that's a type of card called a picture glance. And you define where your picture is. And these are all local pictures that are on my Pi in the www folder. So if you go here, you can see those file names are showing up here, like this rainbow picture, and then you'll see some of these. These are my floor plan pictures and the emoji pictures that I have for our little badges of who's home and who's not home. So those all go in the www folder. And then with them in the www folder, you can just do /local/ and then the name of the file, and it'll show up as the picture. So that's cool. Is there a wiki for Lovelace? There is this, right, where did I put it? Did I go back? Oh, I need to go back because I must have wiped it out. This right here. So if you go to, can you see the address? It's homeassistant.io/Lovelace. And then this gives you really everything that you need. You can go through each of these things over here on the side under cards, and you can just tinker with it and define what you want to do and do what you want to try. They give you an example here to start with. It really isn't too much to it to start with. It can get pretty long. It can, your Lovelace UI file can get pretty big if you're really getting a lot of details in there, especially when you get to defining images in the pictures and such. Back to where we were here. All right. Back to Lovelace. So let's jump right into this floor plan one, because this one is really awesome. All right. So if you can see what that plan coordinates line did at the top. See how I've got up here in the corner? I can't point to that screen, can I? Oh yeah, I can, right there. That is because of that plan coordinates thing that I added at the top. And there's a couple steps to doing that. There's a couple steps to doing it. You need to just grab this file. There's a whole bunch of custom cards, or I guess that's what they are. You need to just grab this file, put it in that, put it in your www folder again. I think it's where you put it. Yeah, put it in your www folder, and then you just call it by doing this. And there's other different ones that you can do as well, but this plan coordinates one is pretty helpful when you're first defining your floor plan stuff. And you can get those custom cards, like you get that JS file. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Is it custom elements? Using custom elements? No, that's not it. Check the docs. Custom cards. There is somewhere a GitHub. Where is the GitHub? Probably just search for it. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Demo of every card, including... Oh, cool. Oh, yes. Okay, I did peek at this once. Okay, thanks, Frank. So, yeah, here's demos of all the different cards. That's pretty helpful. So you can see basics, title, toggleable, title not toggleable. Then you can... Oh, this, there's a big button you can switch to, turn to show what the config looks like. That's awesome. Picture glance, picture entity. These are the ones. I think this has got the most potential to be really awesome. Picture glance, picture entity. No. This one. Yes. Show more info on the camera. Yeah. All right. Well, back to that's cool. That is helpful, Frank. Thank you. All right. So mine, when we go here and we look at this room, let's walk through what all I have in here. So in this, I can't zoom it in. In here, I have this. This is a light. This is a fan. That's a different light. This is a camera, but it wasn't working too well. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Frank. Man, Frank is saving the day. Thank you. So here's where you get all of the different, if you wanted these custom cards, right? So that plan coordinates, here it is. So you just copy this file, and then that shows you what it does for you. It's going to give you this bit here. And there's a bunch of these I haven't messed with yet. I know Monster Card is one that, is Monster Card in here? Yeah, Monster Card is one that a lot of people have been using and like. Let's see if they show us an example. No. You know an example of Monster Card, Frank? Or anybody? I know it's one that's been popular. All right. So if we go back to my second floor plan, this is the upstairs one right here. All right. So I tried to do, when you put those coordinates on, you have to do it as a vertical stack. And that just means that it's always going to stay above. It puts things in order, puts the cards in order and in a vertical line and keeps them that way. So that, sometimes on Home Assistant, on the main user interface, it'll bounce back and forth. Sometimes things will be on one side of each other. Sometimes one card will be above the other card. And it seems to me fairly random. I'm sure it has something to do with how they load or something. But you can define these as a vertical stack, meaning you want them to be in the same order all the time. The same one at the top and then the same ones below it. So the first one at the top needs to be the plan coordinates if you're going to use that. You don't have to use the plan coordinates, and I didn't at first, and it was fine. Then what you do is you start defining your floor plan. So this, you see how this card is in line with the plan coordinates, and then these other entities are sort of sub to that. So this picture element, this is the name of my floor plan file. So when you make your Sweet Home 3D floor plan, and you put it in your www folder, you call it in Lovelace by just putting it in a view as a card, and then when you say the type, it's a picture element, and then the image, you tell it where it is, and then you can start putting the entities, your Home Assistant entities, on there. So when you're doing a sort of the normal, just put a light bulb and you click it and it turns on and off, it's going to look like this. The type of element is a state icon, and when you tap it, you want it to toggle, and when you have to define the entity, and then this style, this is where it shows up. So, and that's where the plan coordinate thing really comes in handy, because then I can, you put your cursor here. So if you wanted to put a light here, you'd say, okay, that's at left 35%, top 50%. And so when you're defining it, those gives you the percentages to put in here. If you don't use the plan coordinate bit, then you just guess and you move it a little bit. And the really awesome thing with Lovelace is you don't have to restart Home Assistant. You make a change here, you just save it and you refresh it, and there you go. Oh, Monster Card. Oh, but it got removed because there were some problems with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't used it, and that's I'm glad that things work this way, that they're really making good changes. But I've had my Lovelace, I wouldn't say broken, but definitely messed up. Right? You go one day it's working, and then you update to the newer Home Assistant and or new HAS.io, and now instead of the picture that you had, you got this big ugly red box, and that becomes because they've changed some of these things, like the types, the type names. They've changed some of those every once in a while, and so as you start with Lovelace now, just expect that things are going to change. And even with this picture entity, I was asking in Discord and the Lovelace channel, like, is there anything I should not include, because there's a lot of pending changes, and picture elements was one of them. So there's probably going to change. But that's okay. We can adjust when they make the changes. So state icons. I got a bunch of state icons. And then I wanted to show you this. So you can also do a state label. In this case, that's just a temperature readout. So when you do a state label, you get this temperature readout like this. And you can define the color because this is CSS. So I just made that one, the toy room temperature, I left it because it just shows up black, but I wanted the other temperature text to be white. So you just put a line that says color white and it shows up white. It's pretty awesome. So service button, let's look at that real quick. These camera ones haven't been working, but this test light one is working. So this is pretty cool. So you can make, I made another little icon that is an image, and it connects to the entity, which is my office test lights, which are these, I got some fancy LEDs that do all the different effects that I have on the outside of the house. I just have some in here that I use for testing. So what I did was, in this case, in the tap action, instead of being toggle, is call service. Yeah, it is developer preview. You're right, Frank. It totally is. So there's going to be a lot of changes. So in this case, you can set the tap action to call a service, any service. Well, except so far Blink Snap Picture isn't working, but that might not have anything to do with Lovelace. That's probably a Blink thing, or it could be that I've just got something wrong. I haven't done all the troubleshooting there. But anyways, this works. I can do this, call service, input select option, and then I select the option on my office test lights that I call Hail, which is just the name of the thing. And then I set the state image so that the state for on is a certain image and the state for off is a different image. And the result of that is really cool. That's this little football player guy down here. And when I click it, you might not be able to see the lights, but the lights are up here. Let's see, turn this back on. Those lights, okay. And you saw that the image changed to a little football player in a different uniform. And then I can turn them back. Well, they won't turn back off that way, because when I click it, it's just gonna call that same service, and so it won't do anything else. I have to turn them off a different way. So I can go back here. There should be. Oh, it's not in that list either. I have to go back to the main normal Home Assistant and my holiday lights, and then turn my test lights off. So anyways, that's kind of a basic rundown. What do you think? Did that help? Was that cool? Go blue. Heck yeah. Frank, I can't believe you don't use Home Assistant just since you're so good with us on the add-ons and stuff. That's just crazy, but that's cool. Thanks for your help. All right. The text is too big. Sorry you're late. You love my work with Tasmo stuff. Thanks. Yeah, that's me. Well, I don't know. I mean, I do videos about it. I don't write any of the Tasmo stuff. I'm not that kind of smart. What did I use for a wall enclosure? So what I used for wall enclosure, I just 3D printed some little corner brackets, and I just screwed them in the corners of the tablet. And I just happened to have a location that was very close to an outlet that I could use to plug it in. So have I ever had power issues running number of large LED strips? Heck yes, I have. A couple different kinds. One, you can, they actually do take quite a bit of current eventually. You know, when you're talking about hundreds of those little lights at low voltage, you need a lot of current sometimes. So power supply, like you need a power supply that'll supply about 1 amp per string of 50 lights. The ones that I use, which are the 2811s, and they're spaced out a little bit more. The ones that I use, they're like 3 inches apart. How many do I have? Let's see. I have 350 on the tree, and then I've got, oh boy, about 900 maybe on the house. So I've got several big reasonably big power supplies. And then the other power issue that you run into is just the voltage drop. So if you're using 5-volt lights, voltage drop's a big pain in the rumpus, and you gotta tap in a bunch of extra power along the way, or they start to dim. But the nice thing is you can just add power along the way. So your data signal can start at one end of the lights and flow all the way through, no problem. But if you start to get into dimming or trouble with the voltage drop, if you have another plug, even at the opposite end of because it's DC, so even at the opposite end of the string, you can just put in another power supply and tap into the positive and negative and boost it from that end, and in the middle. And you can do it in several different places if you had a really, really long run. I haven't done that. I in those places where I had 5-volt lights, where I probably should have used 12-volt lights, I just ran a parallel set of wires from the power supply and just tapped in extra power, because the resistance isn't much in just the wire. So if you run just a pair of wires, the voltage doesn't drop as much as if you're going through the LEDs and using up some power along the way. Yeah, re-inject power at certain intervals. Nick's got the answer for you. You betcha. Can I turn it off as well? Wait, can you? Yeah, one for on and one for off, and hidden at each state. If the light is on, the button will be hidden, and if the light is off, the button will be hidden. Probably, Shane. Probably. I haven't tried that, but I think that would work. Yeah, I need to fix that so that there's some way to turn them off. Or maybe another button, that just pops up when it's on and off. So I guess you could do maybe the picture off. I see what you're saying. Maybe the picture off is a different button. I'd have to mess with it. So this is where Lovelace, like right now, I think it's great, but this is the part where it's still kind of clunky and hard to manage all these little things. They'll get it better. I'm absolutely sure that my expectation, because these guys that develop this stuff are fantastic. My expectation at some point is that we're just going to be able to drag and drop icons and then right click and select a bunch of different parameters and things you want it to do. Yeah, that's kind of how I envision it eventually becoming, because they're that good. But for now, yeah, there's probably some workarounds that you'd have to do to add a different button, and make one of it, make it disappear when it's off, and then have another button appear when it's on that you can click to turn it off. And because of the way that I did this, when you do a select option service like this, now my lights are set to hail. So if I go to, see that? It's set to hail. So if I click that button again, it actually won't turn them on because it only turns them on when they change from one effect to a new effect. So in my other automations, like that just have the lights come on outside, at the end of the automations, when I tell it to turn the lights off, I tell it to set it back to solid before they turn them off. So that the next time that I want to turn them on, as long as I select something other than solid, they turn on. Because this one right now, until I set it to something other than solid, that little button that I have in Lovelace, it won't turn it on. But watch. See? Nothing. And if I go back here and set this to anything else and then turn it off, now it's not set to hail. So then when I go here and I click it, now it'll turn it on because it's switching it from whatever it was to the new option and turning it on at the same time. It's just the way that select option works. All right. I'm sorry I've been completely ignoring the chat. I've been excited about my Lovelace demo. All right. Update to the minimal first. Oh, we're talking about, talking about flash and sewn-offs. Yep. All right. Yeah, you do. Update to the minimal first. Do what Shane says. He's leading you on the right track. Yeah, and Graham's correct as well, Basher. So there's a lot of stuff you can find on Thingiverse, for tablet mounts or whatever else you're looking for. In fact, there's even some really nice sewn-off mounts. But if you do like Fire tablet, so here's some for hanging on the wall. Here's one. But there'll be a bunch. The other thing I would recommend, honestly, is take some time and learn to draw your own stuff. It's really not that hard, and it's super useful to be able to do it. So this is what I use. This is Onshape, and this is something I was working on. Actually, I started working on it again today because I needed to update it because it wasn't quite fitting. This is actually my take so far on blinds, on doing a blinds thing. So motorized shades, right? So I drew up this. Actually, you can even see it now. It's printed. So I've got a stepper motor and a gear, and then there's another gear that will go on the end of just a piece of conduit, piece of 3/4 inch conduit. And then there's going to be, this will have a shaft through it and a bearing on it. And then that bearing will sit in this little loop. And then this can spin pretty freely, and the gears will mesh up. I dropped my bearing. Anyways, and the gears will mesh up, and then I can just control the stepper motor, and I can put the blinds up and down. I was looking at, so what I'm looking for, two different kinds of blinds mechanisms. One, I want to do the regular shutter blinds that open and close and then go up and down. And I found a pretty good project for that. And I think I can copy most of those parts. But this was, I wanted these, the roller blackout blinds, just, whole piece of fabric that just comes down and blocks the window and then goes back up. And so that's what this is. And I didn't want to buy, we have a few big windows, and I didn't want to buy these big shades. The big shades they can get $200 for these big shades, or if you want to motorize, they're like $700. So not gonna do that. So this is at least the beginning of my solution, my experimentation. Hopefully I can get it to work, and that'll be a fun project and save me some bucks. But yeah, learning how to do Onshape is so nice. It's really pretty simple. In fact, I probably have. The thing about Onshape, though, is that if you want to do anything proprietary, like if you don't want to expose it to the world, if you think you're going to patent it or something, then don't put it on Onshape, because it will be exposed to the world. I don't think I have my... No, I thought maybe I drew those clips myself, but I didn't. So they're not on here. The clips that I use, I must have found them on Thingiverse somewhere. But anyways, yeah, just experiment with Onshape. It's pretty easy. If you just start a document, and then you can just the thing to do is you start with a sketch and pick a plane, and then you can just, let's see, which plane did I pick? Top plane. So now you can just draw things like a rectangle, and then the key is extruding. So that's how you make something solid, right? And then you can shape it in different ways. And experiment with stuff. Put holes in things. I don't know. It's probably not going to work too well when you are just tinkering around. But anyways, it's worth trying to use. It's worth trying to learn how to use. All right, back to the chat. Oh yeah, multi-user. Oh yeah, have you guys tried that yet? I'm pretty sure I updated, but I don't think I've tried. I don't think I tried it yet. Yeah, I'm on 7.74. So yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but you know, it's interesting. That was something that people were asking me a long time ago, when I was barely first started making any kind of videos about Home Assistant. That was a request that several people had. Like, how can I not give the kids access to everything on Home Assistant? Which is smart, because as some of you have experienced, the kids like to just tell your Amazon Echo to turn off all the lights, because it turns off the lights in their room, but it also turns off everything else in the house. So, and who knows, for whatever other reasons you want to limit, guests or different people, it's all good. You can limit however you want. Now with this multi-user thing, that might make it possible. So it's a cool new feature. Have you guys tried with it? I have not. Yeah, if you want it to be private, just have one file. Draw all your parts as new parts. Oh, are they still doing that? I used to have they used to give you so many free hidden parts, private parts, things that are private. And then that's a good idea though. And then you just draw them all as separate parts. That's a good idea. And I did start with Fusion 360. I like Onshape because I can do it on my phone. I can do it on the laptop. I can do it on any computer and just pick up where I left off. And I can easily share with other people if I'm working with somebody that can help out. So 10 private, it might have been. I don't remember now. I'm sure I passed it a long time ago, because you can see these are all I've been doing this for a few years now. All kinds of crazy stuff, spinners. I don't even know what else some of this is. Tool rack, iron, what are these called? Shopkins. I drew up some Shopkins for the girls. So, all right. You can assign a specific dot to a routine if the kids say turn off the lights will only affect the lights in that room. Ah, cool. I need to do that. All right. Google Home connection. So Harold, let's see. Harold says, can someone give him some info on Google Home connection? Oops. Gotta be careful saying that stuff. Connection to Tasmota. So it used to be that it was through. So are you using a hub, Harold? Are you using Home Assistant or something else? Because if you wanted to connect and have the Google device find your Tasmota Sonoffs with just by itself, then in Tasmota I think you can still do the emulation. You can tell it to be either a WeMOS or a Wemo or a Hue Bridge, and then Google will discover it. Or the thing to do, I think what most of us are doing is using a hub like Home Assistant or something else, and then you connect them that way. And I do it through the Home Assistant Cloud. So I use the Home Assistant Cloud. I think I can do this without revealing my password, but just in case, slide this over here for a minute. Yeah, okay, there's no password. All right. So if you go to Home Assistant Cloud and you sign up and sign in, then there are these, I guess they're calling them integrations, but both for this person, she who shall not be named, or she will be activated in everybody's house. and for this one. And then once you do that, then each of these has a skill on their respective website. So you can go to Amazon Echo and you pick the skill for Home Assistant, and then it will discover. Then she'll have access to all your devices that you have in Home Assistant already. It's awesome. And the Google one works the same way, but their add-on is called Has.io because they have their their own assistant. They didn't want to get confusing with Google's Home Assistant, blah blah. Anyway, so they made them call it Has.io, but it works the same way. And free for how much longer? I don't know. Hopefully a long time. They said it was going to be it started in January, February, and they said it was going to be free for a couple of months. And now it's been like 4 or 5 months. So, and I guess they've got some new arrangement with what was the big company, Ubiquity or something, I think. And so hopefully they're getting plenty of funding. And the more that we, I don't know how it works. I'm happy to pay them, honestly. The $5 a month that the cloud costs is well worth it to me for everything that the Home Assistant developers do for us. Well worth it. I think it's cheap. I know, and I don't think I would have paid it right off the bat, not knowing how useful it would be or how much I would enjoy it. But now that I'm so deep into it and I spend so much time on it every day, just it's a hobby. It's fun. It's a thing I enjoy doing. So I have no problem paying them. So it's totally worth it to me. When it comes time, I'm happy to pay them. I think about that. Like, how do these guys, even like Frank, like, they spend all this time doing these projects and helping this open source community in these different projects. Like, how do you support? How do you get support for that? How do you get somebody or how do you make the time? I don't know. It's amazing. It's wonderful. All right, blind video would be really nice to modify the existing blinds. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably, Basher, I'm hoping to do the modify existing blinds, make your own blackout shades, like I said, just with some conduit. Although what I've found so far is that might not be as economical as buying some of the cheap blackout shades that you can get, as long as you can get them in the right size, and then just adding a modification to those. But yeah, the blinds are a big thing that everybody wants to see, and I want to make it happen too. And it's not an easy thing. That's why there are not a lot of good videos or good tutorials about how to do it. There's a few. Man, that's great, Frank. You guys reading what Frank's saying there? So, yeah, I guess I look at it as you're spending so much time. Like, I think it's got to be your job. It's got to be a full-time job, but I guess it's not. You're just doing it on the side for fun, which is even better. So, I hope you get something from it. I did my, if you have Amazon Prime, you can go to Twitch, and it gives you can support one person for free to you, and it gives that person a $5, I think it's $5 a month. So I used mine on Frank. If you guys go to Twitch, and if you have Amazon Prime, help Frank out. He does some live streams above my head. Most of it good high level programming stuff that I don't understand, but so appreciate what you do. Trinidad, holy cow. That's awesome. Trinidad, you knocked us out of the World Cup. It was our own fault. Twitch link, please. Frank probably can't link his own, so let me do it. I better move this over here just in case I reveal my passwords again. This never likes to save my passwords. I don't know why. Dang it. Okay. And what's your channel called again, Frank? I can't remember now. How do you give $5 to Frank? Yeah. Oh, buy me a coffee instead. Is that a better way to do it? Okay. Isn't that because I've seen that link. I've seen the buy me a coffee thing. Is that like it's like a different way? Like a different, not like PayPal or something? Buymeacoffee.com/Frank. There you go. All right. Do that. Do it. Do what Frank says. I don't remember how the Twitch thing even worked. But I'll find his channel and give you a link.
So far, Havencraft kind of the second pick.
Ah.
And honestly,
oh, follow channels. There we go. Nope. Not showing up. Oh, Internet of Things. Oh, that's a good name. Yep, there he is. Okay. There you go. Cool. All right. Does Frank live in Vegas? Frank does not live in Vegas. So you go buy him a coffee. That'd be the easy way to get to him. Let's see what buymeacoffee.com/Frank looks like. Is it with an E? Probably did that wrong. An E and a C. I'm spelling it wrong like 4 different ways. Sorry. All right. Am I facing any issues with Sonoffs after firmware 6.11? Just saw the post in your group about it and don't have any. Just checking. I haven't, but I also haven't used it. So can anybody tell, is it Prathik, about the 6.1? Have we defined exactly what the issues have been? People have had issues, but I don't know exactly what the nature of the issues are, other than it's a Wi-Fi problem. I don't know where it's coming from exactly. Why is this not working? Yeah. So Frank is saying stay away from 6. Yeah, Jeff, I think it has something to do with the basics. The Sonoff basics are the ones that are having the most troubles. Okay, so if Jay After Dark had issues with it, then it's definitely got a problem, because he knows what he's doing. Very laggy. Maybe 6.11a with a fix probably be fine. You know, they're good about that stuff. Theo's like Frank. I mean, these guys just I don't know how they give so much of their time, but they get this stuff fixed. So he'll get it fixed, and it'll be good once they get it. Once they get the bugs worked out. I'm sure it's, they've got a lot to it's not like IT'd when they create a new Sonoff and change some things. They don't let them know and say, oh, prepare for this. They just keep going with their releases until a bunch of people come back and say, hey, this isn't working. And then they can try and figure out why and make a fix and stuff. So for the meantime, honestly, 5.14 is solid. I've been using 5.14 and I haven't had any problems. So if you're having troubles, if you do 6.1 and it's just not working, scrap the whole flash and just redo it with 5.14. There are some things that stay on in the what's the EEPROM memory or something. So like your Wi-Fi password and stuff might already be in there. Hopefully that's not a problem when you go back. But I think going back to 5.14 should fix any problems you might have, and then just wait, just let it settle, let new folks experiment and have the problems, and then once everybody else has moved on to 6.5 or something, then okay, great. Yeah, same here, James. 5.14 has been fantastic. I'm still using 5.8 on some because they work and I don't need to update them, so I just don't. I need to learn how to use the rules. I haven't messed with that yet. I got all excited when they first put it out, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to do a video right away. But that I haven't gotten around to it. Like so many things. Just keep updating the newest firmware because I can see what new sensors are supported. Yeah, cool. You know, Shane, to run it on something like a D1 Mini or Node MCU or something, or just whatever ESP8266 little board you have, would be great for testing out the new sensors and doing stuff too. Thanks, MJ. I hope it's helpful to you. I feel, these streams, every stream's a little bit different. I gotta confess, I woke up pretty dang tired this morning. I stayed up way too late last night, and so I haven't been quite as peppy as I think in other streams. But we've had great chat, we've had great conversations. I love getting together. It's a good time. Node MCU set up for your aquarium. Yeah, I think you'd be safer with those kinds of boards than with the Sonoffs, because those aren't going to change their structure as much or at all, probably. They're going to be pretty standard, but Sonoff can kind of do whatever they want. And if they make a little, and I don't even understand what all changes they could make, a different kind of resistor, a different kind of memory chip, I don't know. And that can cause problems for the, for something like Tasmota when you're trying to fit a software to a hardware and you don't exactly know what the hardware changes have been. You can have some problems. Now there's a 6.1.1b. Alexander says 6.1b already. Let's see what else. Probably use the rule to send a "you got mail" message to boot the device back in the deep sleep. This was in my mailbox. The switch is short, 2 wires. Oh, that's a creative solution. That's creative. Have any of you guys used the Connected or anything like it? Oh, my neck just cracked. I finally got my Connecteds working, and it's pretty cool. I'm actually pretty happy about it. They, if you don't know what Connected is, it's connected with a K, and it's a guy named Nate who did a Kickstarter, and essentially what he did was he took a Node MCU board, put his own little sketch on there, and then packaged it with a little connector board that makes it easy for you to take an existing wired alarm system and connect up your sensors, your door sensors, window sensors, motion sensors, siren if you have it, and then connect it's a Wi-Fi board, it's a Node MCU, right? So then wirelessly connect that to your hub. And he started out with Smart Things, that was what he was using, but got a lot of requests to do Home Assistant, and so he's added the Home Assistant functionality, and at first there was a little issue with the URL, right? If you were using like DuckDNS or something, and it was trying to connect like on the local network side, and so you just had to go in and define the URL differently, so it didn't just go to the default one in your Home Assistant configuration. And once I fixed that, now it's working, and it's pretty cool, and it's working. I'm excited now that I've got my sensors here showing up. Now I can do stuff with it. So like, let's see, this is the door that goes out of the back of our house. So you can see that it was opened all these different times. I think you can see it. Can you see it? Oh yeah, okay. For a second I thought the stream froze or crashed. So now I can do something like every time this door is open and stays open for more than a minute, I can have, she who shall not be named, give a little warning that say, hey, the door's been open for a minute, somebody shut it, You can sound alarms if there's, if nobody's home and one of those things open, you can trigger it again through an automation to set off, an alarm or send you a picture or send you a message or whatever. It's pretty cool. So, just another fun little project out there that I'm excited about. Makes good use of, if you already have wired alarm system in your house, and we did. So, and I just barely got it working. I've had the dang thing for a couple of months, but that URL thing had me stumped. So, but now we're good. DrZzs, Nate, and Frank are all awesome, and Theo and Paulus and 50 others. But thank you, Basher. Yeah. Oh, Nate gave you a discount. Oh, that's nice. Well, yeah. I you know what I've done? You guys probably have too. I've done a few Kickstarters, like supported a few Kickstarters. I don't know, 5, 6, something like that. None have come through as solid and as fast as Nate's. Like, I'm still waiting for some wireless headphones from like 3 years ago. I'm never going to see them. I said Frank's. I'm sorry, I meant Nate's. Did I say Nate? Anyways, Nate and Connected. He did a good job. I mean, he was as close to on time with his deliveries of things as I've seen anybody do in a Kickstarter. And you see, if you go to the Home Assistant forums, there's one about Connected, and he's on there answering questions and troubleshooting and trying to help people all the time. So, it's great when you got that kind of support from somebody to help you get through. Try not to overburden him, with easy problem, but he's a good guy. Did a good job. Hopefully he's making a lot of money on it. He deserves it. Shall I continue? Pascal, Fabian, Dale. Oh, are those all guys too, Frank, that are helping out? Yeah. There's a amazing community of really smart people giving their time. So I think that just makes it so fun. It makes it so fun to be a part of. So, all right, guys, I think let's do, if there's a couple other things or one more thing you want to do, and then I'll probably get sign off. And then what I can do is I'll upload the Sweet Home 3D video. In fact, I can start it uploading right now. Why don't I do that? Why don't I start this uploading? Oh, it's on this laptop, so I got to do it here. All Home Assistant people are great. Oh, really? Quinn LED makes a great LED dimmer. Oh, Paul, help us find this Quinn LED. Oh, there it is again. Sharing all my stuff. Quinn LED, huh? I don't know Quinn LED. ESP8266 LED lighting. Oh. Wow. All right. I'm going to get some learn on. Cool. Thanks, Paul. We'll have to check that out. Flashing son of RF Tasmota ends in obtaining IP address and nothing happens. Bricks, 2 devices. Oh, the good news is, good news, S. Warren. I'm sorry if I say your name. I like it though. It's a cool name. It's really, really hard to brick one of these 8266 devices with software. Like, I don't think you can. So the good news is you can do it over again. You can try it again. Ends in obtaining. So how are you doing the flashing? Are you doing it with over the air, or you're doing it with the wired connection? And then have you tried, if you're using the wired connection, have you tried keeping it connected and connecting with Termite and checking for the IP address that way? Because you should, I mean, I hate to say you shouldn't have problems, but it should work. And the good news is Arduino IDE FTDI. Okay. Oh. Okay. And then are you getting some kind of serial feedback at all? If you leave it connected, since you're on the Arduino IDE, open the serial monitor when you flash it and see what it says. It may give you some clues as to where it's going or what might be going wrong. Hit like. Any experience with tileboard instead of HA dash? No, Real Flash. I have seen it, but I haven't tried it yet. It's another good one. Shows no error, huh? So when you just go to your network and it's just not there. Point from Kickstarter. They have a camera with video output, 14 sensors inside. Whoa. No, I haven't seen that. That sounds cool. Wi-Fi couldn't be connected, huh? Have you tried? Did you compile your own sketch then? You compiled your own files in the Arduino IDE? Because you may want, I know there was some trouble with different ESP8266 libraries, and it was a Wi-Fi problem again. Well, I guess that makes sense. That's what that chip does. But you might try just getting the sonoff.bin from Tasmota and loading it up with that. I like calling it ESP Easy, or not ESP Easy, Flash Easy, but it's probably confusing. That Flash ESP8266.exe from ESP Easy. If you go, I've got a pretty quick way to get to it. It's in the middle of this. I think it was the 4-channel video. Is it back here somewhere? Gosh, really? Where'd it go? There.
Better than a click that link up there for a video where I explain my reasons. I've tried multiple times.
Yeah, this one right here. So if you go to here, I'll do this. So this is the latest method that I use, and I pretty much stick with this. I do that, and then I don't even search on my network anymore and try and set it up by finding the IP address in the router. I just connect Termite, and then I put all the parameters that I want in through serial commands through Termite, and then I can even find out what the IP address is right there by typing just IP address 1. And I talk about that one. I talk about how to do that in the I think that was in the was that in the RF video? You've probably seen that part. I can't remember now. But I need to do another quick short. This is I shouldn't say the last, but this is another final of how you flash, and the steps that I currently use to avoid getting hung up. And I haven't used the Arduino IDE for at least a month. When they started having all those problems, I just started using the sonoff.bin. It's already compiled binary. Everything's there you need. And then you just do the settings. I've just done the settings. And I didn't even wait for AP mode and connect to Wi-Fi. I just input all my settings with the backlog command in Termite. Yep. Thanks. I hope it's helpful. I hope the channel's helpful. I certainly get feedback from a lot of you that say it's great and it's helping, and I have fun, and there's certainly so much more I wish I could do, and I wish I could give more help to more folks. I don't know it all. I far from know it all, but I'm happy to tell you what I know, and I'll tell you when I don't know, and try and send you to somebody who does. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I started uploading this. Gosh, I'm just such a scatterbrain this morning. We're going to upload this video. It'll probably take a while, so it'll be by the time we kind of sign off here in the next few minutes, and then it probably will take maybe 20 or 30 minutes for the video to finish uploading, and then it'll be there, and it'll be the Sweet Home 3D how you make your floor plan thing. Yep, Nick's right about that. Silly question, but when I type in the IP address to the Sonoff, it asks for a username and password. Really? for the Sonoff itself? That is weird. DrZzs on ESP Easy, termite, backlog commands would be very helpful. I got to try ESP. Oh, I see what you're saying. The Flash Easy, termite, and backlog. Yeah. You know what, Jeff? Maybe I'll try and find time. It would only take me a few minutes. It wouldn't be too refined, but I could just like turn on this and say, here it goes, and flash it. And so yeah, I just got a new pack of Sonoffs after Prime Day, and I'm hoping that I have some of them that have the pins soldered shut, so that I could demo, a way to use Mark's little clip to flash. What am I using for device tracker? I'm using, you're using the Android phone. I don't remember if OwnTracks works on Android or not. I think it did, but it might not anymore. So what I was using was, or what I am using is the iOS app and OwnTracks. And it's working okay. It does fine. It tracks when I'm at work, and it tracks when people are home or not home. If you want to just know if somebody's home or not home, then the ones that work by connecting to your router, like Nmap, and there's others I think that are router specific, maybe those work pretty well for that. Just saying this person's home or this person's not home. But if you want to know like when somebody's someplace else, like when Mrs. Z's is at Walmart, I want to know so I can shut off the credit card. then something like OwnTracks is what I used. There was another one that it stopped being supported. I want to say it was just called Tracker, but I can't remember now. But I agree with you. Anything that uses the GPS on your phone is going to be helpful, but it's also going to use the battery a lot. So that's the problem with OwnTracks, I think. But it still works. I like it. OwnTracks is iOS and Android. Okay, Frank says it's on iOS and Android. So OwnTracks, that would be the one I would recommend to you. And I use it. You can do it. It can connect to your Home Assistant either through MQTT or through HTTP. And I've had more success with the HTTP. I followed Ben, Bruh Automation's video about OwnTracks, which is probably like a year and a half old now, so it might not be totally accurate anymore, but that's what I followed and got it set up, and it's working well. So that's what I would go with. Notice that Sonoffs I got from Amazon don't have the QC Pass sticker on the Sonoff case. Ooh, really? Google Share Map Tracker does not work on the new HAS OS. Meh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Hey, Alabama. Yes, on the termite video. Okay, maybe I'll get right on that, because that shouldn't be hard. And I've got the Sonoffs now. I can flash and do it. So yeah, Ben was a cool guy. Ben was a cool guy. He's around. I mean, I think a lot of us were scared that maybe something really bad happened to him. People just car crashes and bad things happen. But I guess he's posted a couple of tweets in the last little while, so at least we know he's alive. Who knows? I'm sure it was some kind of problem or big life change, right, that would make you kind of stop doing that, doing what he was doing. But hopefully he'll be back, and if he wants to tell us what happened, great, then we'll share in his return. But we may never know why he was gone for a while, and that's okay too. All right, Creator Studio, start uploading. Anything else? I think that's gonna be it. So, last call while I hit this upload video. Once I hit this upload, then we'll sign off. We're gonna upload it public. What's the cheapest light dimmer switch that works with Home Assistant? Anyone? I haven't bought any. I don't know. Let's see. Where is it? It's on my desktop. There it is. Sweet Home 3D. Should probably watch it one more time before I post it. All right. Got that going. Has this worked, please, Nigel? Signing domains, generating private key, generating signing request, end of string counter. Oh, are you doing SSL or something? You're doing encryption, Nigel? I don't know anything about it. Is there a Mac alternative to termite? Good question, David. I don't know. I'll have to look for one. Duncan says he's going to go get some stuff from IKEA tomorrow. Sweet. And they've got some. Do they have some dimmers? Of some bulbs? Oh, Duck DNS. You're having trouble with Duck DNS? Can I reset that password with Termite? You can try. You can try. You want to reset the password on for your Wi-Fi through in Tasmota? Pat, I think, is answering the cheap Wi-Fi dimmer. Is that right? That works with Home Assistant? Pat Rennie's. Okay, I'm going to sign off because I'm fading and I'm hungry and it's been great. Let me, I know some of you have been on the Facebook page. So we'll end by posting the Facebook page again. Haha, that was me. Check that out. Hold on, we got to go back. That was awesome. Oh wait, what happened? No, I wanted my thing from 8 years ago. Oh, it disappeared. Oh well. Darn. All right, we're gonna grab this and we're gonna copy and we're gonna paste it in here. So you guys can go there to continue the discussions. And then we started last live stream, we started a Discord. And so let me figure out how to get you a link to that. I don't know where the links went. What happened to my thing that said invite people on Discord? Invite people. Okay. I'm on Discord a lot. I'm on the Home Assistant channel a lot. And then we made our own little channel. John made it for us last time. So, okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to those of you that have asked questions that I wasn't able to help. I do feel bad. I wish I could help you. And don't give up. You know, it's the nature of the process with these do-it-yourself things and this tech stuff. And you know, some of the people involved are trained and really good at you know, a lot of this stuff. And then there's a lot of us that are just kind of fumbling our way through and picking up things here and there and trying to understand and learn. And so I apologize, I don't have all the answers, but keep at it, keep trying. Somebody out there is going to give you the right answer. And if it's not here, try the Home Assistant Discord channel, try the Facebook page, try Home Assistant forums, pester Frank with personal emails. Just kidding. Don't do that. Anyways, next live stream, you know what? We'll do one this week. We'll do one again in the middle of the week sometime, probably maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere in there, somewhere in the middle of the stream. I don't always schedule them, Paul. I'm going to be pretty good about being on Sundays. But I'm going to change the time because there's a group of folks that can be on when I'm on in the morning like this. For me, it's morning. And then when I come on, when I do it in the evening, then there's a whole other group of people that can join in. So if if this is a good time for you, what I'm going to probably do is every other, oh yeah, the Google Hangout. We never did that, did we, Lath? Sorry. Dang. I got to go now though, but we'll do it. We wanted to try and bring some people on live and do some screen shares and chat and stuff live. And we were going to test it out. We never did, but we will. Anyway, so I'm going to alternate. So morning stream this week. So next Sunday, I'll do an evening stream. And then the Sunday after that, I'll do a morning stream. And then that'll get messed up a little bit. Like in September, I'm gone several weekends for different trips. And then it's been working out really well and it's really easy. And it's obviously been helpful to a lot of people. So I'm going to start doing some more in the weekdays at night, in the evening for me. It's the only time I can do it during the week. So I'll do it then. And then we'll just catch as many people as we can during those times. And then when I'm just sitting here tinkering, I'm going to fire it up sometimes too. Just, I might not be able to interact as much. I don't know how I'll resist, but when I'm just working on something, I'll just turn the stream on so you can see what I'm working on, and we can just say hi. But I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everybody for all your input, Frank especially, and Jeff and Duncan and a whole bunch of the guys. I appreciate you guys being here and helping each other out. Keep the chat going if there's people that are needing help. I think the chat will stay live for a while after I sign off the live. But if not, you got Facebook, you got Discord. Keep helping each other out. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Adios. Have a good day.